Hello YouTube, this is Western Kansas Prepper here with my latest review of the show Doomsday Preppers, Episode 6. And I continue today with, this is a picture not of the show Doomsday Preppers, but of the show Doomsday Bunkers. And this was the first week of this show. Apparently the Discovery Channel saw all the success that Doomsday Preppers was having, maybe. I don't know what the ratings are, but I guess they must be pretty good. And Discovery said, we got to get on some of this action. So, I did watch this show. I did not care for it as much as Doomsday Preppers. I think the Preppers show is much more interesting because you see a variety of scenarios, a variety of challenges. With this bunker show, it looks to me like they took the concept for the show Son of Guns, or Sons of Guns, you know, that kind of thing, where they make things for people all the time and make specialty items and, you know, those kind of things. And they said, okay, well, we got a guy who can make a bunch of shit. Let's, you know, we'll wheel in some people here. Tell us what you want to make, and then he'll make it for you. That's not really that interesting to me. It's nice that, you know, you might see a concept or two that would fit you, but most of the stuff he's doing is really their luxuries that most preppers don't have time to do. They're going to be well outside of most people's price range, so I'm going to watch the show again, and maybe I'll change my mind about it, but for right now I'm not planning on covering it. So I don't know, maybe other people out there saw it and liked it better than Doomsday Preppers, but I did not. So I don't think it'll do that well. This show, I'm going to be ranking the 3 preppers that we saw. The episode was titled 9 Meals Away from something, from Mayhem or something. I can't remember the last word of that, but anyway, this first guy, again, I'm going to rank everybody within the show, and he's going to make last on the list, so I'm calling him the Dungeonmaster of Seeds, and I think that title's pretty self-explanatory. But in any event, he really likes seeds and has apparently a ton of them, all freeze-dried and put away in his freezer. You know, good for him. It's nice to have. I think seeds are a part of prepping, and you should have a little seed, you know, storage in your preps. Should it be the sole basis of your preps? Probably not. Now, he had a few guns, you know, so good for him. He actually apparently had to use one of them in a little sketchy situation, but, you know, not really clear what was going on there. Most of these people, you know, most of these shows, I've complained about the premise that, you know, Doomsday Preppers, the producers seem to want to force people into this, you're going to be prepping for X event, you know. I'm prepping for the super volcano. I'm prepping for the polar shift, you know, to make them look like they're lunatics. This guy, I don't think they had to do a lot of stretching with either. He apparently is he really believes, and all he's prepping for is this radiation coming from the Fukushima plant in Japan. It apparently will eradicate all of our plants, and we will need his seed vault in order to restart life on Earth. You know, more so than most of the other stuff that's on the show, this is just a patently absurd premise. There's just no reason to believe this whatsoever. Even if you believed in the most bizarre of conspiracy theories, you wouldn't believe in this. This is just flat stupid. You know, it's not like we haven't had nuclear incidents before. You know, we've had Chernobyl, we've had 3 Mile Island, and we didn't require a you know, massive seed vault to you know, springboard us back to, you know, having thriving life on Earth. You know, can we have a nuclear holocaust and, you know, all the attendant effects of that? Yes. It can be a bad HSTF situation, no doubt. But just the radiation leaking from Fukushima, that's not enough to generate worldwide WROL situations. I mean, it was a localized WRL in Japan. I totally agree. But from where this guy's sitting, he needs to, you know, get laid, basically, not worry about that. So, anyway, not real impressed. He's a little kooky, and I don't think even his own plan to do this was pretty far-fetched. He had some flimsy tents that even the practical prepper said were flimsy. Didn't appear to be a very good plan. So, anyway, that's the first guy. The second guy on the show, this is him. And I had to liberate these images from my TV. Apologies to anybody who needs them, but I could not find images of these people anywhere on the web, on Google Images, and that's a real pet peeve here. If you ever go to the Nat Geo website, they made this really nice spread for the first episode of the show, and they've never updated it. Not once. It's all the same stuff from the first episode. You think they could put new pictures of the other preppers who've been on the show? They could put new photos. They don't do anything with it. All they do is just leave it there. I mean, has the guy who is in charge of their website, has he been on vacation for 6 months? I mean, what's going on? I don't understand why they don't have more going on with their website. They should. They should have a forum on their website like Mythbusters does, something. I mean, there's nothing on there. This guy, I am calling Dogfighter Dad. And I spelled Dogfighter intentionally with the D-A-W-G because he's from Georgia, and being from the South myself, I know that's how they spell dog. Anyway, well, it's UGA, Georgia and all this, and UGA. So, this guy, I think he's doing pretty good. He's living in the suburbs. He's got a crap ton of food stored. Really a lot of it in his house. He's got weapons. He's training his family to use weapons. He's got some dogs that he's obviously trying to train to fight, hence the name. He's got gasoline, to retrieve his son from college. Those are all pretty good preps, I gotta give him credit. That's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. He's probably ahead of me where I'm in my preps. I gotta give him credit for that. I don't have fighting dogs. I think I assume he may have some of these things, but we don't see a lot of his tools, water filtration, other types of preps. He said he was preparing for economic collapse. I think he's preparing more generally. I think it's just that, again, that's that Nat Geo premise trying to pigeonhole him. But I think he's preparing more generally, so I don't know, like I say, what other general filtration things he has, air filtration, water storage. I didn't see much of that. Alternative wells, whatever. And he didn't have a bug out plan, either. So I can't put him on top of the list or anything like that because he doesn't have a bug out plan really. They mentioned that, I think, and he said, yeah, that's something we need to maybe work on in the future. So he acknowledged that, and it is what it is. That brings us to my last contestant here. This guy, I think his name is Riley something. I am calling him Mountain Welder, and that's what he does for a living. Is he's a welder. He's got a big welding shop. Apparently, he's turned part of his prepping into a career, making those, no doubt, very expensive tubular underground shelters. I'm sure it'd be great if every one of us had one of those. I'm sure none of us have the money to do that, but he's got some of it. Now his shelter in the mountains was very nice getaway. They criticized him a little bit on maybe too difficult to get to it. Maybe, if he's really concerned about the issue he says he's concerned about, then maybe that's the best place to be. So maybe that just is what it is. But he's got a lot of things. I didn't see a lot of weapons on him. I didn't see, I'm not sure how ready he is for that. Again, he's got definitely communications equipment in there. He's got, cameras around his place. He's got a lot of preps built into that shelter. He's got some food storage built up at his house. He's doing pretty well. I got to give him some credit for that. He's doing pretty good. So I guess I'll need to go to the big board of my rankings before I run out of time here. Starting off again at the very top, we got 21 preppers so far, and my top 3, or at least my bottom 3, have not changed. Party Cat Chick, Solo Botanist, Uber Germaphobe, Putting the Dungeonmaster of Seeds there at 18, right below Uber Germaphobe. They're both prepping for one scenario, him and Uber Germaphobe. The difference to me is that Dungeonmaster at least has a couple of guns. I think they're both not very prepared, but, you know, I say, at least he has a couple of guns. I don't know. So I wouldn't give either one of them very high marks, but it is what it is. Going down, still the same. Trucker Prepper, Taurus Day of Doom, Thumb Dad, Woodchucker, God Guns and Whiskey, Sardy 1, Chunky Lady and Hillbilly. Putting Dogfighter Dad here right below Chunky Lady and Hubby. As I recall, Chunky Lady and Hubby didn't have any bug out plan either, so I don't think there's a big difference between the two of them. They both have trained with some weapons. Chunky Lady and Hubby get a little more of their neighbors involved. That's good for them. Dogfighter Dad, I think, had a few more preps, maybe as far as gasoline and getting places, getting dogs trained, training his family weapons. I don't know, he seemed to be a little more well-rounded to me, but that's a pretty close call, I gotta say. That's a close call between those two sets. I could easily flip those two, but that's kind of where the range I see him in. I might even flip those two, I'm not sure. That's pretty close. Seems like the newness kind of gets me sometimes, but maybe he should be 7. We go down to 5, Patriarch and Kids. 4, I'm putting the Mountain Welder down there. Patriarch and Kids, and they're good because they got a lot of people doing a lot of different tasks. They don't have a bug out location like Mountain Welder does, though. And his is very nice, and he's got, you know, ability to get there and to do things. I'm going to put him ahead of them, just, you know, mainly because of that. But that's a close call too. Reluctant Hillbillies, again, they're already bugged out, so they don't have to worry like Mountain Welder does about getting to the bug out location. They're already there. And some comments. I didn't flip-flop these yet, but I'm tying them. Those two, I'm tying shipping container and missile silo. I think that the shipping container people have them on the sustainability and being able to move around quite a bit. Missile silo has them on being able to withstand a number of scenarios in that bunker. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on this newest episode. See if you like my rankings. I like the comments. See how lame you thought the Dungeon Master was or whatever. And look forward to talking to you next time. This is Western Kansas Prepper signing off.